Hello everyone, and welcome back to my little bit of Mexico. So this morning I was looking at the BBC website, as I always do. It seems to be my routine with my cup of tea. See what's going on in the world. And after the main news on the BBC website, their app, which was the orange idiot, I think you call him Trump, invading Venezuela and abducting, not capturing, the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, I headed on to other news. Now, yesterday there was a 6.5 earthquake here in Mexico. The epicenter was off the coast of Acapulco, and it was felt up to Mexico City. Apparently 2 people died. I think one in the Acapulco region in Guerrero, the state where Acapulco is, and I think one in Mexico City too. And a lot of my friends who are on Facebook did post that they were safe, which is nice. But the thing is, this news item appeared this morning on the BBC app, and it wasn't. A little bit after the Venezuelan strike, but it appeared lower down the ratings. It was actually after, I think 1 or 2 after news that Anthony Joshua was okay, and he was returning home to Britain. Which is more important, a boxer who was injured in a car accident, or an earthquake that caused damage and death? And this is what I find really irritating when it comes to news reports about Mexico, unless it's cartels, deaths and drugs and things, murders and whatever. You don't really get much reporting about Mexico. It has a fleeting mention, and that seems to be it. Like, when was it? 2 years ago, I think it was. There was an earthquake which devastated a lot of Acapulco. And it was reported on the BBC and elsewhere, but only for 1 day. After that, it never mentioned a single thing. And I'd like to know, what is it? Why is Mexico not really looked on as having any kind of importance when it comes to news channels, especially ones like the BBC? And although I like the BBC, I wish they would kind of look at things far better. I think other newspapers, both in Britain and the USA, are very much the same. I mean, you have quite a devastating earthquake, or you have quite a bad hurricane. But they damage Mexico far more than the USA, for example. Yet, when there's an earthquake, which can be really bad in the US, obviously, but when there is a hurricane in the US, it gets far more press than what happens here in Mexico. And I don't know why this is. Why is Mexico less important than the USA? I mean, we have some quite bad things happening, but you'd never really see that they get any news space. It's all rather annoying. And one thing that I remember, when was it? The Hurricane Katrina, when that hit New Orleans, the first people to respond and send mobile kitchens and medical aid to the US was Mexico. The Mexican army and Navy headed to New Orleans and helped out before the Americans actually got there. When a similar hurricane hit Houston or other parts of Texas, Mexico automatically sent troops to set up kitchens, etc. But they were turned round at the border, almost like, no, we don't need your help. Yet, when we have certain disasters here in Mexico, you don't see very often American troops coming down to help. We're kind of on our own. Yet, Mexicans are so open to helping people and do so much to help others, especially in times of earthquakes. Mexico has a good reputation for helping others when there are earthquakes, but it's never reciprocal. You don't seem to see the same things coming down here. And in the press, you don't see very much happening. Why? I have no idea. Is Mexico really considered important in certain terms when it comes to the news? I have no idea. Anyway, that's my little rant about news reports and things. Thankfully, here in Mexico, people in the capital, Mexico City, and the other areas like Guerrero and the rest of that region are safe. Thank you all very much. Bye for now.